if your nakshatra lord is placed in certain houses from your moon, then what kind of results it may accrue for you. Now, when the moon is placed in certain houses from the nakshatra lord, keep in mind that moon is about your thoughts, how your mind works, and your ability to be able to attach to certain things, empathize with people, nurture people, and support others. And because of this, all these attributes, when moon is in a certain placement from the nakshatra lord, these also get added to how the overall gains, the results will come to you. Maybe the challenges may also come to you. So depending on the placement of the moon from your nakshatra lord, the moon's ability to be able to showcase empathy, support, attachment, and also the motherly affection may also come in. But the nakshatra lord's characteristics, personality, whether it is Mars, Jupiter, Sun, Rahu, Ketu, may also come in. So if the nakshatra lord, for example, is Mars, then the person may empathize but also want the other person to act. So if Moon and Mars are the placements from each other, whichever they are, one to each other, 2, 12 to each other, whatever, if Mars is your nakshatra lord, then the nakshatra lord gets related to the energies of the moon. Why? Moon is placed in the nakshatra of the nakshatra lord. So moon imbibes the energy of the nakshatra lord, and the nakshatra lord will be able to give you results connected to your ability to empathize, nurture, support others, but with the energies and the output of the nakshatra lord. So if the nakshatra lord is Mars, the more you are able to empathize with somebody, then the results will also accrue for you. However, Mars, the nakshatra lord, will give you better results if the person is acting. So your ability to empathize with the person will come to the fore more if the person is ready to act. The other person is a person who leads a life of goals. There is a certain target which Mars is about. There is no free meal, especially when the nakshatra lord is Mars. On the other hand, if your nakshatra lord is Sun, then the person wants the other person to whom you are related to take responsibility, accountability, and show leadership, so that I should be able to empathize with you. So if my nakshatra lord is Sun, then unless the other person is able to act, take responsibility, accountability, my ability to be able to empathize with that person, support the person, gets discounted. So if the person is ready to take responsibility, accountability, it's easier for me to support the person, easier for me to nurture the person, easier for me to support the person. On the other hand, if my nakshatra lord is Venus, for example, then my ability to be able to empathize with the person, to nurture the person, support the person will come in more, or be able to come to the fore more, if the other person shows a softness of their tone, their language. They are able to show an appreciation for others. They are also able to support the others in an appreciative manner, in a soft manner, and with the Venusian energies as well. On the other hand, if the nakshatra lord is Jupiter, for example, then for my ability to be able to empathize with you, support you, nurture you, I want the other person to show the readiness to learn, and learn enough and to be wise enough not to repeat errors. If that is the case, then my ability to nurture, ability to empathize with you is higher. If the nakshatra lord is Saturn, for example, then I want the other person, if the person is expecting me to show empathy, support them, nurture, try and understand them, then I want the person to be humble. I want the other person to be very hardworking. I want the other person to be disciplined enough. So keep in mind the flavor, the characteristic, the personality of the nakshatra lord will also play a part in my ability to be able to nurture them, to be able to use my ability to support, to empathize, if, and in the light of the nakshatra lord, if they want that I should act in a certain manner towards them. So the nakshatra lord's characteristic, personality is as important as my ability to empathize with them, depending on which houses the nakshatra lord is placed on the moon, and vice versa. Now if the nakshatra lord and moon are in 1-1 placement with each other, which means they are conjunct with each other or in the same house, whichever house it is, if they are conjunct together in the 6th house, in the 4th house, in the 10th house, that flavor of that house is the secondary part. Then the science flavor will also come in. Here we are acting today or talking today or discussing at a 70,000 feet. We are not going to right down, to the brass tacks. So if moon and the nakshatra lord are placed one to each other or conjunct with each other, placed in the same house with each other, then they work in tandem to be able to give results. Even if they are in opposing energies, for example, moon is a very strongly opposing energy to the ability of Saturn, the characteristic of Saturn, for example, and the energy of Rahu. Yet, if moon is placed in as a with the nakshatra lord, which is Saturn or Rahu, then they work in tandem with each other. But mind you, the degree difference between them should be much lesser. Because it's a nakshatra lord, then the conjunction is stronger even if the degree difference is slightly higher. In generally, moon or any planet in conjunction with the other, usually the conjunctions work best if the degree difference is not more than 8 to 9 degrees, maximum 10 degrees. But if it's the nakshatra lord with whom the moon is conjunct with, then a degree difference even with up till 14 degrees will still give you a strong conjunction. They will still work in tandem with each other. However, depends on what is the energy of the nakshatra lord, because that energy will come to the fore. So if moon and Mars are involved one with each other, then the person may be a bit aggressive in their intent, bit assertive in their intent, even pushy to be able to get results. If moon and Jupiter are conjunct with each other, with the Jupiter being the nakshatra lord, then this is a very strong Gachkesari yoga, one of the strongest Gachkesari yogas. Especially, this is an energy which will bring wisdom to the fore, learning to the fore, experiential learning to the fore. And if the person is able to showcase an attachment along with showcasing wisdom, learning, experiential learning, then high prosperity will come to the fore, high gains will come to the person. If, on the other hand, if moon and Saturn are the planets which are conjunct with each other, when Saturn is the nakshatra lord, so here the person will be very hardworking, will be very diligent, will be very organized, and will have a high empathy for workers, because the Saturn is the nakshatra lord and it is conjunct with moon. So your ability to be able to empathize with people will be very stronger, especially if the other persons are hardworking and they are also humble, they are also organized. Then accordingly results will all ensue for the person. If moon and the nakshatra lord are in 212 placement from each other, if one is in the second house from the other, then the former is in the 12th house from the latter. So if moon and the nakshatra lord are in the second and 12th placement from each other, say for example, if moon is in the second house while the nakshatra lord is in the 12th house from the moon, then the moon will bring forth your ability to earn and attract high remuneration, because moon is in the second house from the nakshatra lord. However, your actions will be through how your nakshatra lord is placed and how you are able to use your creativity, your imagination to be able to earn through the energy of the nakshatra lord. However, because the nakshatra lord is in the 12th house from the moon, then this is also a placement of, if you're not able to showcase an attachment, you're not able to bring creativity in your work, you're not able to bring in a high degree of getting connected to being focused in your work, then there may be a degree of losses or wastage of your effort, because your nakshatra lord is not being supported enough through the moon. Sometimes these people may also work more in solitude and work in alone, or in placements or in work roles which are more individual roles rather than team roles also. For example, if a person is chasing high creativity and takes time in getting satisfied, and if, say for example, the nakshatra lord is Mars, then the action may not even get completed, as the person may soon get bored or lose interest because they are not working in tandem. So the person is showing too high creativity but not acting in the energy of Mars. Mars is about taking quick action and being able to attach yourselves, focus at your work quickly, not wasting too much time. But if you are too engrossed in, I want to bring in the best creativity, the best work, and you are forgetting or not focusing on the energy of Mars, then the person, while trying to be creative, will soon lose their energy, will soon lose the focus and get bored and leave the task. So this is a tricky placement. If moon and nakshatra lord are in 212 placement from each other, you need to account for the nakshatra lord energy as well. As well as moon is in the 12th from the nakshatra lord. When the nakshatra lord is in the second house, then the nakshatra lord's energy should be used to be able to get higher remuneration, higher ability to be able to get higher earning also. But you should also keep the moon's ability to attach yourself to the work to be able to get good results. Now, on the other hand, a moon and the nakshatra lord are in the 3-11 placement from each other. So this is a very strong placement that the more effort that you put in, the more willpower that you put in, the better communication that you are able to use, the better influencing ability you have, the better results you will get, the better gains you will get. If, say for example, the nakshatra lord is in the 3rd house from the moon, then the high effort the person makes in their creativity, in their ability to connect with their work, attach themselves to the work, better gains one can get. If, for example, the nakshatra lord is 3rd from from moon, and if the nakshatra lord is, say for example, Rahu, then the more materialistic that you are able to get, the more diplomatic that you are able to get, the more hunger and greed that you show towards getting results, you will be able to make better gains, especially related to your actions, related to, say, business or working in a large organization or masses, because the 11th house is about businesses or large masses. So your ability to be able to bring in or balance the energies of the moon and Rahu will bring you strong gains if they are, say for example, 3-11 from each other. Similarly, whichever planet is in 3-11 placement from the moon, keep in mind the energy, the characteristics of the planet and the creativity, the empathy, the support orientation of the moon to be able to make the highest gains from your effort, from your ability to use your communication skills and your ability to influence people. If they are in 4th and placement from each other, moon and the nakshatra lord, then this is a very strong placement of very high assets made through your career, made through your actions. If moon, say for example, moon is in the 4th house from the nakshatra lord, then the better attached you are at your work, the more focused you are at your work, the more emotional attachment also you have. For example, many times we want to do a certain work only if your heart and mind is towards it, rather than just thinking that this is what works in today's environment, I have to get into IT because there is no more money into IT. Not that way. You need to get into something that you emotionally feel attached to. This is what really makes you happy. This is what makes you most comfortable. Then if you do that, and then if moon is 4th from the nakshatra lord, then the more focused you are, the more attached you are, the better assets you make, the better gains you make. On the other hand, if the nakshatra lord is 4th from the moon, then the more focus that you are in your domestic life, the more peace, tranquility, harmony, stability you are able to create at your home, the better focus you will be able to do in your career and your work, and the better results you will be able to get from your work, from your career. So creativity and innovation is the key to get better results, better success in your work, as long as the peace and harmony and the tranquility is kept at home. If on the other hand, moon and the nakshatra lord are in 5-9 placement from each other, this is one of the best placement that you can have to make very high gains, but through your ability to be able to learn, and the better gains you will be able to make, you will be able to attach them more towards the experiential learning that you have, the more you are ready to also keep your ears and eyes to the ground to learn, to imbibe from the learning, from the atmosphere also. And the more open-minded you are, the more liberal you are, the more accepting you are, you will also be able to get better results. So a good placement to earn, especially through your educational qualifications or through your experiences, the more you keep your eyes and ears open, as I said, to learning and imbibe from the atmosphere, the better gains you will make. However, the person may also have to travel a bit, maybe even to foreign lands or far away from the place of their birth, to be able to get better gains. So here in this placement, say for example in the 5-9 placement, if the nakshatra lord is sun, then the closer that you are to authority figures, to the power figures, to the power centers, and you are ready to learn from them, and you are able to showcase to them that you are somebody who has the leadership ability, you can take authority, you can take responsibility, then the better gains you will be able to make. On the other hand, if the moon and the nakshatra lord are in 6-8 placement from each other, then this is a slightly tricky and challenging placement, but also gains from your service. But you will initially surely face high challenges, opposition, even blockages or speed breakers, and vice versa from each other's energy. So either moon becomes a speed breaker or bringing challenges or high opposition to your work, through your career, to gains, or vice versa. So for example, if moon is 6th from the nakshatra lord, then your ability not to empathize, not to show attachment, and not to be able to showcase support or nurturing ability to your work or to your fellow people or to people who are working below you, that may attract more inimical reaction from others, from those people who are working with you or in your team, especially connected to the character of the Nakshatra Lord. So for example, if Moon is 6th from the Nakshatra Lord, while the Nakshatra Lord is 8th from the Moon, and if the Nakshatra Lord is, say for example, Mars, then the others may also not only be less appreciative of you, but even be a little aggressive or assertive towards you. They may want or force you also to be able to show attachment or better application at work, to be able to then work with you. And there will also be a lot of aggressive, assertive intent. Sometimes they may even push at work at you, or your bosses may also become less appreciative of your work. Less acknowledgement of your work will also come through from the power centers. So action sometimes from the Nakshatra Lord may also be drastic, especially if connected to Mars or Rahu or Saturn being the Nakshatra Lord, when Moon is in the 6th house from the Nakshatra Lord. If for example, on the other hand, Moon is in the 8th house while the Nakshatra Lord is the 6th from the Moon, then the growth may be slow. One may feel that one has to work much harder and the results are not yielding good enough. Especially if Nakshatra Lord is also Saturn in this case, then one has to put in double the work to be able to get good results, double the effort to be able to get gains. However, once you are able to do that, this is the placement also of strong stability which the planet gives you, the placement gives you. On the other hand, if the Nakshatra Lord is Ketu, while Moon is in the 6th from Ketu or Moon is in the 8th from Ketu, then there may also be frequent changes in your career, in your role, or even your location to be able to extract best gains from the Nakshatra Lord and your ability to empathize, support others. If on the other hand, your Nakshatra Lord is Moon itself, then you can look at the position as if the Nakshatra Lord is conjunct with Moon or in 1-1 placement from each other. Now here you will have to put in the double the energy of Moon, your ability to be able to be more creative, to be able to attach yourself to the work, to be able to do something which you love. Either you do something that you love or you start loving what you do. Otherwise, Moon being both the Nakshatra Lord and place 1 or conjunct with the energy or double the energy of Moon, you will not be able to get the best results, the best gains, the best assets, unless you are able to attach yourself, strong focus on your work, strong focus on your career and in your relationship. Remember, it's easier to nurture people, support people, empathize with people only when your relationship is strong. So this is the placement, especially Moon is also a Nakshatra Lord, to have one of the strongest ability to be able to relate, empathize, support, engage with people, and also to be able to attach yourself strongly with people through relationship, your ability to make strong acquaintances, strong partnerships as well. So friends, now that we have talked about how different Nakshatra Lords placed in different houses from the Moon can yield you different results, different challenges, different opposition, different gains as well, and ability to be able to extract more from the energy of both the Nakshatra Lord in tandem with the Moon's energy based on how many houses they are from each other. So now please look at which is your Nakshatra Lord, what is the characteristic, what is the personality of the Nakshatra Lord, and how many houses they are away from the Moon and vice versa, and then be able to use both the placement of the Moon and the Nakshatra Lord along with the characteristics of the Nakshatra Lord and the personality of the Moon to be able to get the best gains from the placement from each other. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me with the links given below. Until some other time, some other video, this is a friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.